Hello, everyone. Welcome back to A1 English Podcast, the podcast where real English meets real life.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Jessica. And today is a good one.
It really is. We're covering something that confuses almost every English learner on the planet.
And I mean every level. Beginners, intermediate learners, even advanced students.
Even people who have been studying English for years still get this wrong.
But here is the beautiful thing. By the end of this episode, you will not just understand it, you will feel it.
That is the goal, right? Not memorizing rules, feeling the language.
Exactly. Okay, before we start, a quick and important reminder.
If you are watching or listening to this right now, please take 2 seconds and hit that like button.
And subscribe to A1 English Podcast if you have not already.
Because we upload new episodes every single day. Real English, real conversations, zero boring textbook stuff.
And when you subscribe, you're not doing us a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. You are building your English every single day.
Okay, so today's topic.
Today's topic, are you ready?
We are talking about would and used to.
2 words, 2 tiny, common, everyday English words, and yet they cause so much confusion.
Jack, tell me, how many times have you heard someone say, I would go to school by bus, when they actually meant, I used to go to school by bus?
Oh, all the time.
Or the opposite, I used to think she was wrong, but actually would is not even possible there.
Right, and most learners don't even know why. They just feel like something is off.
So today, we're going to fix that feeling. We're going to replace confusion with clarity.
No stress, no heavy grammar, just real examples, real stories, and real English.
Let's go.
Okay, Jack, let me ask you something personal.
Sure, go ahead.
Think about your childhood, something you did regularly, a habit, something you do not do anymore.
Okay. When I was a kid, every summer I would go fishing with my grandfather. We used to wake up really early, like 5 in the morning, and walk to the lake near his house.
Okay, did you notice what just happened there?
What?
You just used both would go and used to wake up in the same story, and they both felt natural, right?
Yes, totally natural.
That is the first thing our listeners need to understand. Would and used to, they are not always different. Sometimes they mean the same thing, and that's actually what makes this confusing.
So people think, okay, they can both describe past habits, so they must be interchangeable, right?
Right, and sometimes, yes, they are, but not always, and that not always is where the mistakes happen.
Okay, so let's break this down clearly. Let's start from the beginning. What does used to mean?
Great question. Used to describes something that was true or happened regularly in the past, but does not happen anymore.
So it's about the past, a past habit, a past routine, a past situation, something that has changed.
Exactly. For example, I used to drink coffee every morning, but now maybe I don't. Maybe I switched to tea. That change, that contrast between past and present, that's what used to is all about.
And what about would?
Would, in this context, when we talk about the past, is used to describe repeated past actions, things you did again and again, habits, routines.
So also past habits.
Similar, but here's the key difference, and this is the most important thing we will say today, so really listen.
Everyone, pause if you need to. This is important.
Would can only describe past actions, things you did, things that happened.
But used to can describe past actions and past states.
Yes, states meaning feelings, situations, conditions, beliefs, things that were true, not things you did.
Okay, I want to make sure everyone really gets this. Let me give an example of a past action.
Go ahead.
Every evening, we would sit on the porch and watch the sunset.
Beautiful. That's an action. Sitting, watching. You can use would there. You can also say used to sit. Both work.
Now, a past state, something that was simply true.
I used to be very shy when I was a child.
Being shy is not something you do, it's something you are, a state.
So you cannot say, I would be very shy when I was a child. That sounds wrong. That is wrong.
This is why native speakers sometimes can't explain why something sounds wrong. They just feel it.
And today, we're giving you that feeling through understanding.
All right, let's go deeper into used to first.
Yes, let's really understand this one completely.
Used to. 3 big uses. Number 1, past habits that you no longer have.
Example, I used to play video games every night, but now maybe you're too busy. Maybe you grew up. You don't do it anymore.
Number 2, past situations or states that are no longer true.
Example, she used to live in Paris, but she doesn't live there anymore. She moved.
Or they used to be best friends, but something happened. They're not close anymore.
See, to live and to be, those are state verbs, not actions, and used to handles them perfectly.
And number 3, and this is a beautiful use, expressing nostalgia, emotion, memory.
Oh yes, this is my favorite.
When you say I used to, there is already a small feeling of emotion in those words, a small feeling of that was then, this is now.
Like, my grandmother used to make the most incredible soup on Sundays. That sentence, even reading it, you feel something, right?
You feel warmth, memory, a little sadness maybe.
Exactly. Used to carries that emotional weight naturally.
Now let's talk about how to build the sentence with used to. The structure is very simple.
Subject plus used to plus base verb.
That's it. So, he used to work late. We used to take walks. I used to believe in magic.
Now, what about negative sentences?
Good question. For negatives, subject plus didn't used to plus base verb.
So, I didn't used to like spicy food, but now maybe you love it.
Notice in the negative we write used to, not used to, because didn't already shows the past.
This is a small but common mistake. Many learners write didn't used to with a D at the end, but the correct form is didn't used to.
And for questions, did you used to? Again, no D on use.
Did you used to play sports in school? Did she used to live here?
Okay, let's practice. Everyone listening, I want you to think of one thing you used to do as a child that you don't do anymore.
Say it out loud right now, even if you're alone.
I'll go first. I used to collect stamps when I was young.
I love that. Mine, I used to be scared of the dark. Not anymore. Well, mostly not anymore.
Huh. Okay, now it's your turn. Pause if you need to. Come up with your sentence.
Did you do it? Great. That is real practice. That's how language lives in your brain when you produce it, not just listen to it.
All right, now let's move to would.
And I want to be very clear. We are talking about would as a way to talk about the past, not would for future, not would for conditional sentences, just would for past habits.
Because would has many jobs in English, but today, one job. Past repeated actions.
The structure is simple. Subject plus would plus base verb.
Every morning, my father would make breakfast for everyone. That was his habit, his routine, his repeated action.
On Fridays, we would all gather at my aunt's house. That was the tradition. It happened again and again.
Now, would has a slightly different feeling compared to used to. Can you describe that, Jessica?
Yes, great point. Would often feels more vivid, more storytelling, more cinematic.
Like you're painting a picture.
Exactly. When you say, every summer we would drive to the countryside, we would stop at the same little cafe, we would order the same apple pie, you feel like you are watching a movie.
Would gives your stories rhythm. It makes them flow.
Writers and speakers use would when they want to bring the past to life.
Now, remember the big rule. Would only works with action verbs.
So, she would sing every night. Yes, singing is an action.
He would know the answer. Wait, does this sound right?
Actually, no. Know is a state verb, so we cannot use would here in this past habit context.
You would have to say, he used to know the answer, because knowing, it is a state, not something you do, something you have.
Let's look at more state verbs, the ones where would does not work for past habits.
Verbs like be, have, know, believe, think, feel, love, hate, want, need, understand.
These are feeling verbs, thinking verbs, being verbs, states.
So I used to love that song, correct, not I would love that song as a past habit. That changes the meaning completely.
I would love that song in present sounds like a conditional, like if I heard it, I would love it. Totally different.
So context matters, and choosing the right verb matters.
Let's do a quick exercise. I will say a sentence, you tell me would or used to or both.
Everyone at home, play along.
Sentence 1. Every morning he, blank, wake up at 6 and go for a run.
Pause. Think. What do you think?
The answer? Both work. He used to wake up, correct. He would wake up, also correct. Because waking up and going for a run, those are actions.
Sentence 2. When I was young, I, blank, be afraid of spiders.
Pause. Think carefully.
The answer, only used to works. I used to be afraid. Because be afraid, that is a state, a feeling. You cannot say I would be afraid of spiders as a past habit.
Sentence 3. On weekends, the whole family blank go to the market together.
Again, both work. Going to the market is an action. The family used to go and the family would go. Both are correct and natural.
Great job, everyone. If you got all 3 right, fantastic. If not, don't worry at all. Keep listening. It gets clearer every time.
All right, let's put would and used to side by side, a direct comparison.
This is where everything clicks together.
Jessica, I'm going to give you a story, a real little life story, and I want you to explain the choices.
Perfect. Go ahead.
When I was a university student, I used to live in a small apartment near the campus. Every morning I would wake up early, make a cup of tea, and sit by the window. I used to love that quiet time before the day started. My roommate would play guitar softly in the evenings. We used to be very close. Those were simple days.
Beautiful. Okay, let's break that down sentence by sentence.
I used to live in a small apartment near the campus. Why used to?
Because living somewhere is a state, a situation, not an action. So only used to works. You cannot say, I would live in a small apartment. That sounds wrong.
I would wake up early, make tea, and sit by the window. Why would?
Because these are all actions. Waking up, making tea, sitting, all things you do. Would paints that daily routine vividly. You could also say used to here, but would gives it that storytelling rhythm.
I used to love that quiet time. Why used to?
Love, a feeling, a state verb, only used to. I would love that time, wrong in this past habit context.
My roommate would play guitar. Why would?
Playing guitar, an action, so would works beautifully. It creates a picture. You can almost hear the guitar, right?
We used to be very close. Why used to?
Being close, a state, their relationship, how things were, only used to.
So in one short paragraph, 4 uses of used to, 2 uses of would, and they each had a reason.
This is how real English works. Not a rule you memorize, a feeling you develop.
Okay, let's talk about the most common mistakes, because knowing mistakes is just as important as knowing the rules.
And please do not feel bad if you have made these mistakes. We all have. That is how learning works.
Mistake number 1, using would with state verbs.
Example of the mistake. When I was a child, I would have long hair.
What is wrong there?
Have here means possession, a state. You cannot use would for this. The correct sentence, I used to have long hair. Simple fix.
Mistake number 2, forgetting that used to already means not anymore, so you do not need to add extra words.
Example of the mistake. I used to live there before, but now I don't anymore.
Can you spot the problem?
Used to already tells us it is finished. It already means you do not do it now. So, but now I don't anymore is unnecessary. The correct version is simply, I used to live there. That is enough.
Clean and clear.
Mistake number 3, writing used to instead of used to in positive sentences.
This is a very common writing mistake.
In positive sentences, always used to with a D. I used to run every day, not I used to run every day.
But in negatives and questions, remember it is used to without the D because did or didn't already shows past tense.
Did you used to play football? Correct, no D. I didn't used to eat vegetables. Correct, no D.
Positive sentence, used to with D. Negative and question, used to without D.
Write that down or say it out loud 3 times right now.
Mistake number 4, confusing used to with be used to.
Oh, this is a big one, and it deserves a special mention.
Be used to is completely different. It means to be accustomed to be comfortable with something.
Example, I am used to waking up early. That means waking up early is normal for me. I'm comfortable with it. It is my habit now.
But I used to wake up early, past habit. I did it in the past. I don't necessarily do it now.
2 completely different meanings. Don't mix them up.
And get used to means to gradually become comfortable with something.
I am getting used to the cold weather. That means I am starting to feel comfortable with it. So we have 3. Used to, past habit, be used to, currently accustomed to, get used to, becoming accustomed to.
We will go a full episode on be used to and get used to very soon, but for today, just remember they are different from simple used to.
Okay, let's bring everything to real life. Let's have a real mini conversation using everything we have learned.
I love this part. Jessica, tell me about your hometown, where you grew up.
Oh, sure. So I used to live in a very small town, very quiet. Everyone knew each other.
What was it like growing up there?
Well, we would ride our bikes everywhere after school. The streets were safe. My friends and I would meet at the park every weekend, no matter the weather.
That sounds lovely.
It really was. I used to think it was boring when I was a teenager, you know how teenagers are, but now I miss it terribly.
Did you used to have any special traditions?
Yes, every Sunday the whole neighborhood would gather for a big outdoor lunch. My mother would cook for hours. I used to love the smell of her cooking filling the whole house.
That is beautiful. Now, everyone, did you notice? In that short conversation, we used would for repeated actions, riding bikes, meeting at the park, gathering for lunch. And we used used to for states and situations, living in the town, thinking it was boring, loving the smell of her cooking.
And it all sounded completely natural, right? Not like grammar exercises, like a real conversation.
That is exactly the goal.
Now, your turn. Think about your childhood, your hometown, your family, a teacher you had, a friend, a place you loved.
And create 3 sentences, one with used to for a state, one with would for an action, and one with used to for a habit. Your choice.
Say them out loud, right now. Pause this episode if you need to, but do it, because that practice, those 3 sentences, that's worth more than an hour of passive listening.
We believe in you.
All right, let's wrap up. Let's do a quick summary of everything we covered today.
Number 1, used to, used for past habits and past states, things you did regularly and situations that were true but aren't anymore.
Number 2, would used only for repeated past actions, not states. If you try to use would with a state verb like be, have, know, love, it will not sound right.
Number 3, sometimes both would and used to are correct when you're talking about repeated past actions.
Number 4, common mistakes. Using would with state verbs, writing used to instead of used to in positive sentences, and confusing used to with be used to.
And number 5, the most important thing of all.
Real practice, speaking out loud, creating your own sentences. That's how language moves from your head to your heart to your mouth.
You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going.
Every English learner makes mistakes, every single one, including the most fluent speakers you admire.
Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are proof that you're trying.
And trying consistently, patiently, with curiosity, that's exactly how you become fluent.
So speak, write, listen, try.
And come back tomorrow for another episode because we're here every single day ready to help you grow.
If this episode helped you today, please hit the like button. It helps more learners find us.
And subscribe to A1 English Podcast so you never miss an episode.
We're so grateful you spent this time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep growing. You're doing better than you think.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. And remember, every great English speaker started exactly where you are right now.